So one of my favorite ones is this painted one here. I'll go ahead and zoom out a little bit so that you guys can see. You can see the front foot and the back foot all in black there. So maybe the mammoth just stops right here when you're looking at it. And if you take a look at the face and the ear, beautiful colors and paint on this. All these are little markings and symbols. If you look closely on this stuff, like a cave painting. Stuff is really beautiful, right? Who would have ever thought? But that's that. And if we kind of tilt it over a little bit, of course you guys are seeing the red hump on it, right? There's a lot of carvings and this turns into other things. And so I have here another mammoth, and it's got its painted hump here, and I kind of put him on top of this one, but I'm going to move him down here so that you guys can see. So he's going to be a mammoth both ways, left and right. Oops. A little tough to show this one, but you guys can see. Also a beautiful bird here facing to the left. It's actually a bird man, so inside of this stuff is a mouth. It's a human bird, even in just this one little yellow section. You can see how there's a little profile image of a human with the eye being right there. There's a little diamond there, you can see. There's a few diamonds. Each one of these are little eyes. 4 different images. Let's go ahead and look at some of these paintings on here. I'll show you a few. And so here we have a really nice depiction of a mammoth as well. We can see how the mammoth eye is done, and then again that tuft rather is all painted white. And we can move it around here to the side. You can see how this is the trunk of it, I guess. You know, it's interpretive, it is art. So it is to be interpreted in different ways, but that's what this cartoon is. It's a cartoon of a mammoth, I believe. And there's some more things on here too. It's really neat how they design this stuff. So here we have a really nice painting, and I'm going to turn the light off because I think it's even better to see with the light off. There we go. You guys can see the silhouette, the portrait poking out here to the left. And as you look on it, you'll see in the shadows here other little faces in the middle of it, on the right hand edge of it. And then we can turn it over and find even more. But as we curve it around and tilt it, you guys see the lips, the nose, and then the eye. And then where that eye is the start of a chin for a much smaller silhouette here at the bottom. I can try to zoom in on that for us. Let's look at the big one. Then you see how it's kind of a long face? We can tilt this, make it different. So we have now the red spot. See how the red dots are there in the middle of the portrait? It's getting freaky, right? You guys are seeing them all now. You might have not seen them, now you know. Now you know. I know you guys can see them, because I know that they're getting easier. The people who made this were really into just wanting you guys to know about it. It's as simple as what you guys see. Isn't that awesome? I think it's a really pretty piece. We have a couple more, but you see how on every corner they put a little face with the eye, the nose, and the open mouth here, just in case. And again on the right hand side with the right side silhouette. That's really great. Thanks for hanging out, guys. And so here's a great representation again of another mammoth with the tuft on top. This is the trunk separated, and this one's a really complicated one. The mammoth might have been one of the first images, so it's going to be tough to show. And to tell you the truth, it's even tough for me to see right now. We do have a giant version of the bird man with the bird with the blackened eye there. And then of course just the eye of the bird with all the circles around it, and the beak here. It's got some little markings on the beak. And facing this way, we'll have the human with the mouth, the nose, and then he has the big bird mask on again. But the mammoth comes out a little better in different angles. It's not super easy to see the mammoth unless you kind of point him like this, I think. I can see him a lot better outside of the camera, which is something that usually does not happen. So, we've looked at this guy before. And we've looked at a few of these before. Let me go ahead and find another mammoth for us. We will take a look for one on here. There is one, I'm sure. But some of these we've looked through before, and so I'm trying to show ones that we haven't seen yet. You guys see the face here? They're covering this one. Yeah, see how see what they did here. They have the mouth, the nose, and then at least this eye. And then what we can do is proportion that and make both eyes come out. See how this stripe lines up? Once you start to see things, this looks like the bottom of a turtle. You see how the back of a turtle there? Looking in the black and the white, and like the interface between the two, that's usually where this stuff is at. It's a very interesting one. I know that we're going to be able to see him later, but the mouth, the nose, and then the two eyes, that's just one of the images. You guys will spot other ones. The black and white stuff isn't, it's a whole different thing. It's a whole, what's this? Okay, so he has what is all that? Interesting. You guys let me know what you guys see. Curious one. This beautiful headdress on the character inside here somehow, some way. And just standing up, it almost it does stand up by itself if the table was even, but whenever a stone stands up, oh, look at that guy. He's super cool. So, of course you guys can see the white eye, the nose poking out. Sorry, I'll try not to move the camera as much. Helps me too, if I don't move it around as much. There's so many on this. This is one of the coolest pieces. It almost looks like a trunk of a tree. It's just, wow. There's our bird mask again. Looks great. We've looked at this in earlier videos. That's a mammoth in a few different ways. But this also has this little, these little paintings on here. We have a few of these. They're just little, cave paintings. You guys can see the mouth, the eye, and then the nose, which he's got like a little bear face going on or something, you see? It's also a portrait to the right in the red. So we're looking at the black and the red. So they're two different colors. You can see how the mouth is open there. And there's just a woman portrait, looks like she has a awesome bird on her head. So there she is with her upturned nose and her eyes. You can even see her eyelashes. There's her open mouth. And then she has this bird. It's it's got a headdress on itself. It's got wings hanging off of it and stuff. Beautiful cartoons of the ancient people. I was always into animation and stuff. And, you know, I like sometimes even watching old cartoons. Talk about old cartoons. These are the oldest. The oldest cartoons. Look at this one. Ooh, my. See how it's just a whole person there with the mouth and the two eyes. Maybe he's riding something, but he's got a cool hat on, you see? That is something. Let's look at some more. I'm hooked on that. This is really pretty. It shows the bird head, and then in this red and black, there's, if we just look at the black section, we can see how the human silhouette perhaps is coming out that way. But again, inside of these little symbols and markings, like, this is not just scribble or mark, like that's a bird. Looks like it's pointing its wing. There's little characters here. All this stuff, it's all a mural. Believe it or not, this is all a mural. It's all like a painting. Do you see how, like I'm showing you a Bob Ross painting right now. This is like lilies over, see how they're getting smaller and smaller. It's like over a lake, right? And these are the animals that are playing in the lake with the bushes and things. I mean, that's what we're looking at. I know it's unfathomable, but here we'll see some more as we zoom in. You can just see these little scary faces poking out at us. And sometimes they're outlines. And what's really neat is there is really no direction. So this is showing a bird, obviously. And then there's some other drawings in here that kind of faded away. It's tough to interpret some of this stuff for sure. I can't get over this one. I can't figure it out all the way, but I can't get over it either. I don't know if speaking of interpreting, I don't know if I'd have been able to interpret this stuff if I hadn't learned the stone art ahead of time. But you guys can see the long bird, see the eye, the beak of the bird. So it's just painted in this section. And then in this one little section here is a human silhouette with, you see the little gray paint right there, showing her hair, like, or paint on her face, it looks like actually. And we'll have some other characters to the left, just little small ones you can see emblazed in on the bottom there. Little tiny itty bitty drawings, little faces all over it. Do you see, guys? Right side profile with the open mouth, the nose, and the eye. And you see how it's all dark around the face. And then this section is lighter colored. That's all the hair around it. That's the neck. Even just on this one section here, there's a tiniest, you know, small face. I'll cover the whole thing up. This stuff gets so tiny. But it's all over it. And it's important to show, you know, I don't want to keep on zooming you guys in and out, but go ahead and flip this one over. So we can see, of course, the big dugout eye of the character. And then, you know, looking to the right as well. This is the braid of the hair coming back. And it's also representing a bird in the white. So with the bird in the white, you can see how the eye of the bird and the beak is actually this faded in section. This looks like the crest up here. It's just my interpretation, but it could be a hummingbird. But right here's a little pair of characters. So it looks like we have a little character facing to the left and then another one above it. I'm sorry if you guys are getting bored. It's just really with the camera, I'm able to see these a lot better. And you know, I don't sit out here and look at this stuff by myself, so thanks for joining me. I want to break this one open next video because I was actually making a video about it and I stopped it because the characters that were inside of it were just so easy to see, so lifelike. That's bird poop. I gotta get that off of there. It's actually messing me up. I think it's this one. Yeah, there's several, but you can see how the eye is painted and how the mouth is painted, the whole face, and it's got this red stripe going above the eye. Just a little smushed face, indigenous fella here. He's got a little smushy face, looks maybe like a young person, and then you can see how the beak and the bird over top of the head. So we have the beak, of course, sticking out here, and then the eye of the bird, which is this beautiful carving that you guys can see. And this turns into a human as well, so, but as we zoom out, you can see how it resembles the bird head there. All right, so the first thing you'll see is the birds. You'll notice that there's birds on them. And then you'll see how this red feather is coming back with the white tips. And you'll see how there's a little human silhouette in there. Portrayed in probably a few different ways. Super neat. It's really pretty. This is a really great one. I can't wait to finish opening it. This is the other piece of it here. So there's a lot to see on it. A lot of history. I'm excited for it. Oh, that's really neat. I didn't see our long-nosed guy. The paint for the eyes, it's just incredible. All right, everybody. I think that's good for now. I gotta get to bed anyway. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys around on the next one. Bye-bye.